At best nowadays, free to play really just means free to try. I feel like free to try is actually an accurate term. I think free to try is more accurate because if you end up liking a game, you're going to spend money on it.
Dirty old river, must you keep rolling, flowing into the night.
What up, Dangerous Nation? I'm back again with another video, and I'm sorry that I've been away for a little while. I've been kind of busy lately, and I haven't been able to make videos, so I apologize for the long hiatus, but I'm back again, and now I get to make another video. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a Halo boomer named Sean W. Now, in this video titled Halo Infinite shows how free-to-play is ruining video games, he basically is arguing for like 7 minutes straight that free-to-play is bad and that it's ruining Halo Infinite, even though it's not, and most of the arguments he's making in this video are just so dumb. I mean, it's your classic Halo boomer arguments. So today, I'm going to be responding to this video, and I'm going to be picking it apart piece by piece, and I'm going to really dive deep into his arguments and just tear it apart. Because when you really get into this, all of it just falls apart, and it's just him spewing a bunch of bullcrap for him to get thousands of views and thousands of likes, because all of the Halo boomers out there on the internet are so just blindly hating on 343 for no reason. So without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we?
Hey guys, Sean Dubs here. So now that it's been about 3 weeks since Halo Infinite's multiplayer has been out, and we've seen together all the genuine disappointment and, valid criticisms of the multiplayer.
Well, so you are right about the valid criticisms, as in, like, the progression definitely isn't the best, although 343 did say that they are going to fix this. You can't, like, have separate playlists for just certain multiplayer modes. When you go to quick play, it just shuffles all the modes, and you have to play, like, random modes and stuff like that. You can't pick which specific mode you want. You can't just pick Slayer. You can't just pick, like, Capture the Flag only. You have to play through it all until you get to that specific game mode, which is kind of annoying, and 343 does need to fix that. That I will admit, those are definitely fair criticisms, but the videos that you're showing here, most of these videos are all just people bitching and complaining about the microtransactions. Okay, so this is a free-to-play game. These are all skins. These are cosmetic items. I get people are so obsessed with dressing up your character in cool costumes with cool gun skins and cool weapon skins and cool, whatever skins, but at the same time though, between that and having to pay to win, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not someone who buys skins in games. This isn't a problem for me. And plus, you don't have to buy it. They're not forcing you to buy it. So honestly, I think those criticisms that I just mentioned before, aside from the microtransactions, are valid. But the videos you're showing are just people bitching about microtransactions and not giving any real criticism of the game.
I am now more convinced than ever that free-to-play really is ruining video games. I don't mean to single out Halo Infinite here. It's just that with Halo Infinite's multiplayer going free-to-play, it's like my favorite shooter game franchise of all time is now suffering from all the problems that other free-to-play games do. And so I just want to get my thoughts out there, so hopefully, someday things can change, all right?
Listen, 343 is not going to change their mind and decide to put a price tag on Halo Infinite after they've already released the game and it's already free to play. Do you know how stupid that would be? And also, to say that this game is suffering from all of the same problems, you mean people who are dirt poor and can't afford a $60 game are able to play this game and not have to wait for it to be on sale? Is that a bad thing? Let me tell you something. Some people just can't afford $60 video games these days. Heck, even $70 is too expensive. So to make this game free to play is making it more accessible to people who can't afford to buy video games normally. In fact, I'd argue that literally, if those other games are so successful with their system, then why did Halo Infinite bother to adopt it. If games like Fortnite and Warzone and Apex Legends and even Splitgate have been so successful with their free-to-play models, where you can download the game for free and all you need to pay for is like cosmetics and battle passes and stuff like that. They're successful like that. They're successful with that kind of system because a lot of people can play it. Heck, even if you're playing on a PlayStation or an Xbox, you don't need to pay for the online multiplayer. So it's a great way for people to get into big shooter franchises without having to shell out $60 for a game they may not like. So I don't see what you mean. I don't see how this game is suffering if other games like Fortnite and Apex have been so successful.
And hey, if you've been watching my videos and you enjoy them, please drop me a sub, alright? Please drop me a sub, alright?
How about no?
I'd really appreciate it. So free-to-play is not only ruining video games, in my opinion, but it's also basically become a fake term, all right? Just like, you know, free shipping, right? There's no such thing as free shipping. It's always built into the cost. And things, you know, like free bonus offer, free anything, bro. We all know there's no such thing as free.
Really? Free to play is a fake term? Nothing is ever free? I mean, to be fair, nothing is ever free, truly free, not even freedom itself, but at the same time, this game technically is free to play, and it's not a fake term because you can play the game for free. You do not have to pay for it. The only thing that is paywalled is skins. That's it. There's no extra maps that are locked behind a paywall. Obviously, the campaign is locked behind a paywall, but that's not really what most people generally play Halo for. Obviously, there are diehard fans that play the campaign, but generally, Halo didn't really become popular until multiplayer was introduced. That is really the thing that kind of kicked off Halo. And so by making that free to play, you're going to get a huge player base off of that because people do not have to pay to get into the game. People can just buy cosmetics if they want to, and if they're interested in the campaign, they can pay $60 for it. Although personally, I think $60 is a bit much for a campaign that probably isn't going to be that long. But nevertheless, I don't see how it's a fake term. It's not. And for you to compare it to something like Amazon, where it's not really free shipping, it's baked into the cost, I wouldn't consider that a fair comparison. That's a dumb comparison.
I think the term free to play has lost most of its meaning because the corporations that make our games have cracked the code, bro, and now they make even more money with the free-to-play model than they did with the paid model, right?
Yes, corporations making money, bad. Big companies with money, bad. Nah, but seriously, dude, really? Like, that's literally every company. Every company is out there to make money, okay? That's just how it is. Companies want to make money. It's a competitive market. There's money to be made. Of course these companies are going to do what they want to make money. That's just how it is, bro. That's just business. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah, sometimes there are scummy tactics that are used, but, you know, what's so wrong about a company wanting to make money? And second of all, they're successful at it. If they make more money off of the free-to-play model than they do over the paid model, then what's the big deal? If it works out for many of these companies, then other companies are gonna follow on and try to compete with what they're making. That's just called competition, okay? And competition breeds innovation in our capitalist system. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. It's just simple capitalism. Something that has worked for years and centuries. Something that has worked for as long as human history has existed. There's always been competition, and there's always been people trying to do something that another person has done but better. Why do you think that there's so many different first-person shooter games on the market? Everyone's trying to compete to be the best, to be the cream of the crop. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you had Overwatch and Team Fortress 2, which are both the same genre, and one is trying to compete with the other, and vice versa. That's how it is.
And they're using time-proven sales tactics on us to make more money, you know, such as FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like, free-to-play is now just a marketing tactic, and it means about as much as terms like sale, you know, like, oh, you see a sale, but you already know they artificially raise the price, and then they give you, you know, the sale price. Okay, sure, bro. Anything that has, 99 cents on the end of it. Oh, it's only $9.99. It's not $10. It's $9.99, right? Like stuff like that. Even, microtransactions. I feel like even that is a fake term now. There's nothing micro about it. It's just a transaction now. $5, $10, not just in Halo Infinite, but in other games, There's nothing micro about it.
Okay, all of that you just said is so absolutely retarded. Like, first of all, the whole thing where you're comparing sale price, this game, it's free to play. You don't pay money for the actual video game itself. How in the hell are you coming up with these dumb comparisons? And the only thing related to that is microtransactions. So you're mad that you have to pay for skins in the game that don't give you any advantage at all, that just make you look cool. Even though the only thing you see most of the time in the game, when you're actually playing the game, is the weapon skins that are on, well, your weapon. That's it. That's all you see. You don't see much of your actual character unless you're in between games and the game ends and in your character selection screen and stuff like that. That's it. How is the microtransactions really an issue? Come on, man. Come up with better arguments than that crap. And I also need to point out, it's also a kind of a dumb comparison to say that this is like something that costs X amount of dollars and 99 cents. Like, no, this is $0 and 0 cents to just play the game, the multiplayer mode. Jeez, man, jeez. Where does this guy get his arguments from? Does he get his arguments from the trash? Does he get his arguments from reaching into his butt and grabbing whatever lint is in his butthole, his poopy butthole? Where does this guy get his arguments? Where? Does he just go on Reddit and try and find all these like Halo boomers making arguments about it? Does he go on Craigslist even? Jeez, imagine paying for an argument. Like, what the hell, man? Come on, man. Just come on.
And of course, again, terms like free shipping. Free to play has become the same as these terms. At best nowadays, free to play really just means free to try. I feel like free to try is actually an accurate term. I think free to try is more accurate because if you end up liking a game, you're going to spend money on it.
No shit.
Oh, wow. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought that if you play a game and you like it, that you would want to spend money on it? Who would have thought? And second of all, like, this argument that it's free to try and not actually free to play is BS. Something that is free to try is like a demo. This game is not a demo, okay? It's the full multiplayer. Obviously hasn't had all the features and stuff yet, but it's the multiplayer and you're not restricted to playing only a certain amount of time. You can play as much of it as you want, how long you want, whenever you want. And here, you could choose whether or not you want to buy the campaign or any cosmetics. Something like the Final Fantasy VII demo, for example, something like that is a pre-selected portion, or even the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you only get to play a certain amount, probably 2 hours worth, and then the rest of the game is locked behind the paywall. So that is free to try. You can try it out, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And if you do like it, you can buy the full game. But something like this is free to play. This is not free to try. You can try it, you are free to try it, and if you like it, you can continue playing it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to play it, okay? So, yeah, just in general, that's kind of a dumb argument.
It's just that simple. And why would you spend money? Oh, duh, because the corporations have paywalled what is one of the most fun things about video games, right? The customization. There's almost no other hobby that lets you express yourself and really make the experience your own in the way that video games do, especially like RPGs. I would say like car customization is at least equal, but that's like the most expensive hobby there is.
Really? Okay. Customization in games in general are not what make them good. You could have a great game with terrible customization, and you can have a terrible game with great customization. You know what I would rather play? Great game with terrible customization. Because customization doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, as long as you're actually having fun with the game. So to say that, customizing your character is a core fundamental, the bread and butter, if you will, of Halo, or even any video game, is nonsense. And then to compare it to car customizations, and then to say that it's equal to customization in a video game, and to say that it's like that car customization is more expensive or the most expensive hobby, how is that a fair comparison? You can pay lots of money on customization in a video game like this, like thousands of dollars, thousands, maybe even $1 million on customizing a car, and that's something you use every day that you could use for years and years and years, and it'll never be shut down. Whereas a game, you can play it for as long as you want until they have to shut down the servers when the game gets too outdated. My point here is that he tries to claim that something like this is equal and expensive and as incredible as customizing a car, and yet he goes and he contradicts himself by saying, oh, it's the most expensive hobby out there. You can spend significantly less on microtransactions in video games. Sure, you can probably spend almost enough, but is there really that much in this game specifically that would equal $1 million? Companies can make $1 million off of it, more than that, but that's because multiple people buy the same product for themselves.
And that is what is so annoying about free to play, and why I feel like it's ruining video games, because it has monetized the customization.
You do realize that other games like Call of Duty have $60 games that you can pay for and a paid battle pass with paid cosmetics. Sure, there's also Warzone that's free, but the other games, Cold War, Modern Warfare, and Vanguard, all of those games cost $60 a piece on top of having paid cosmetics and stuff. So what's better? A game that's free to play and has paid cosmetics, or a $60 game with paid cosmetics? I'd say a free-to-play game, but I guess the whole point of this video is, free-to-play bad, free-to-play bad,
And again, that's one of the most fun parts about games. When you get to customize your character or whatever part of a video game, it makes it more immersive because it feels like you're really altering and customizing the experience to yourself.
Oh my god, dude. I can't make my character look like Shrek. This game isn't immersive enough. I'm not gonna play it anymore. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? You do not need to make your character look awesome and cool in order for it to be immersive and stuff. Take a look at something like BioShock, for example. You can't customize your character or the way he looks in that game at all. You're stuck with it for the whole thing. But the game is so immersive. And, even though, customization's cool and all, it's not a fundamental part of the game. It's not the reason that the game is so good. Games can be immersive without customization.
Monetizing the customization experience just cheapens it. And it also just limits it, right? Because, very few people can buy everything.
Well, it doesn't even matter because, you don't have to buy everything. You really don't. You can choose whether or not you want some skins or not. Is this such a difficult concept for Halo boomers to grasp? I think it probably is.
And by the way, it's okay to love customizing your character in video games. I keep getting these comments from these bros who are like, why do you want to customize? What you want to play dress up with your character? You should just like the gameplay, bro. Why do you want to play dress up? Bro, have you ever played video games before? What a garbage take, honestly.
The only garbage take I see is from you, Sean. Those people who are commenting that stuff in your comment section, they just have common sense. Something you clearly do not have when it comes to this.
I feel like the same person who says that in the comments, You probably have rims and an exhaust on your car. You probably customize your car. Your room probably has posters and memorabilia. You know, something like that. Those people are probably like the biggest hypocrites ever.
You know, I'm kind of wondering the same about you, Sean. I wonder if you have a Halo poster in your room and a Cortana body pillow. Okay, that last bit is just a joke. I don't actually mean it. But still, since you have mentioned at the beginning of this video that it's one of your favorite shooter franchises, chances are you probably have merchandise from them. If you love them so much, then you probably have a poster and stuff like that. So if anything, that makes you a hypocrite as well.
But seriously though, like, remember when all that was paywalled was like DLC and expansions of the game? It used to be that you just paid more to get more game, right? Now you pay to unlock just a part of the game. Like, not even the whole thing, you're just getting a part of the customization. You can't possibly unlock all the customization.
Yeah, and things are better now than they were back then. You know how stupid it was to have to pay for extra maps and not being able to play with your friends because you didn't have the same maps as they did? That was dumb. That was so dumb. That is actual anti-consumerism. Why have to pay for a $60 game and then have on top of that having to pay for extra maps that are not included in the base game? Thankfully now companies have learned and we're not seeing much of that season pass stuff anymore. Now you're just seeing mostly just stuff with cosmetics being paywalled. And hey, I'd take that any day over having to pay for maps.
I feel like the free-to-play model and charging us for customization is just so out of control now that it is like officially a massive waste of energy that could be going into making the games better, giving us more game, right? Like, if all the effort that goes into monetizing and like paywalling all the customization, if all that went into making more game experience, publishers would easily be able to charge, you know, $60, $70 or whatever they want to. I just think there has to be a better system that, you know, can accommodate these whales whose money they're trying to get, right? With the free-to-play live service model.
Dude, are you seriously suggesting that we go back to having to pay $60 for video games when the system we have now generally works better? And I know not every game has to be free to play, but when a game like this goes free to play, it works because, you know, you don't have to pay to get in. You can just play it, and the only thing you have to pay for are cosmetics, okay? You don't have to pay for the cosmetics. Back then, you had to pay for the extra maps if you wanted them, and also to play with other people that had the maps. But now, you can just play all the maps that are in the game. None of the maps are locked behind a paywall, and if you want this game the same skin as somebody else, you would just have to buy it or grind it out in the battle pass. But again, I think that's a better system than having to pay $60 for a full price game and extra map packs on top of it.
You know, they can accommodate them and us regular people, okay? Because whales are going to be whales no matter what. I don't know, man. I just feel like we need a better system, because all I know is that, you know, like, free to play is actually causing me to want to play many of the video games out there like less. Like, free to play turns video games into keep up games, and they force you to constantly play on the game's terms, right? Rather than your own. That's why I really don't like Halo Infinite's challenge system. It's like, I gotta play the game the way it wants me to, rather than the way I want to, you know?
Dude, I don't play the game that often. Whenever I have time to play it, I play it. And you know what? I don't feel like I need to constantly play it all the time to get everything, okay? That's not how it is, alright? So calm down. And second of all, if you're able to make so many videos on Halo Infinite where you have Halo Infinite footage in the background, that clearly means you have time to play Halo Infinite. And then another thing, calling it a keep-up game, you do realize that, you know, there are people with jobs. Generally, there's a significant portion of the player base, large portion, maybe 70%, that doesn't always have time to play the game. Obviously, there are hardcore players who are tryhards, and that's, you know, fine. But a lot of people don't always have the time for video games, including myself, and have real-life responsibilities outside of playing video games. But when I play this game, I don't feel like it's a keep-up game. I just, you know, feel like it's a game. Jeez, man, jeez. And also other games that are paid for, like Call of Duty, for example, or Overwatch. Those are paid for multiplayer games, and the same applies to them as far as keep up. There are always going to be people who are good at the game, and you have to get better at it. Just get good at the game, you scrub.
There's always some, damn battle pass you need to complete by a certain time, or you gotta grind it, some timed exclusive thing, that you need to grind for. Again, not just in Halo Infinite, in all these free-to-play games. Let me make that clear. I'm talking about all free-to-play games here.
Here's a thought. Don't buy the battle pass if you don't have time to play the game and grind everything out. I know that's how I am. I don't normally buy battle passes in games because I don't get to play it that often or grind everything out that often. I have real life with real responsibility. So I don't see why you can't just not buy the battle pass. But no, you gotta keep making that 343 bad content to get those views.
Like, dude, I love video games because they are an escape, they're entertainment, but now they're turning into a damn job, and that's why, I feel like I don't even want to play free-to-play games as much anymore.
So don't play them.
So I just feel like we need a better system. And we haven't even scratched the surface here with all the deeper problems that come with free-to-play, and they seem like unsolvable, some of them, like all the cheating and hacking that goes on. It seems like whoever's doing that stuff is always 2 steps ahead. It feels like they're never going to be able to stop it. And then there's the outright scammy and predatory methods they use, to get us to pay for the customization. It doesn't even feel good when you actually want to spend the money because you practically feel like you're getting scammed.
Then don't buy the skins. And also, has anyone ever actually seen a hacker in a game like Halo Infinite? I barely encountered any hackers. Team Fortress 2, on the other hand, oh yeah, that's got a lot of hackers. But this, I've barely seen any. Where are they? Where are you guys? Where are these hackers at?
So hey man, overall, that's how I feel about free-to-play. Okay, I really do. I really feel like free-to-play is ruining video games. Just my honest opinion. I think there needs to be a better system. Okay? And I really feel like the over monetization of games has ruined the term free-to-play. When it was first introduced, free-to-play, I feel like that was a good thing. But now, like I said, I feel like the term has lost all meaning. I feel like it's actually free to try, okay? And most of the try is just them trying to get as much money out of you as possible. So hey, let me know in the comments what you think of this little rant, okay? If you watched this far, please drop me a sub. And hey, that's all I got for now, so I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
And just like that, the video is over. I guess the whole point of this video, guys, is free to play bad because paid cosmetics, $60 games better because no paid for cosmetics. Sean, change your name to Sean L, because that's what this video is. Honestly, this is probably one of the most retarded takes I have ever seen on Halo Infinite in a while, and I'm glad I get to make a video about it with you guys. And I'm glad you tuned into this video today and enjoyed yourself. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and share this video with all your friends. I'll see you all in the next one, and remember, live dangerously. Peace.